What's going on, fam? We're back with another episode of Skate Hacks. It's been a while, but we're getting back to it. Today we're just doing a quick skate hacks. We're going over pressure flips. Now I know pressure flips got a bad reputation. I personally love them. I think they're great. My attitude, do whatever the fuck you want to do in skateboarding. So I like pressure flips. I wanted to talk about them really quick. The main concept with a pressure flip is going to be the back foot. It's always going to be the back foot. So you want to get familiar with this concept here. You want to get familiar with having one foot off the board, your front foot off the board, and your back foot on the board. And you want to practice this pressure flip motion here. And it can be kind of tricky at first when you don't understand it, but this is key to understanding a pressure flip. So you want to make sure that you have your toes hanging off a little bit and that you don't just pop, but that you scoop, and that you scoop so you can hear the scrape of the board on the ground. It's essential to anytime you hear the word scoop, it's going to go hand in hand with scrape because you're essentially scraping the tail against the ground. And anytime you do like a pop shove it or a tray flip or anything like that that requires scoop, you're going to need that scrape against the ground to get the back end of the board all the way around to where it becomes the front. Now that's why doing nollie or fakie shove its and stuff like that is easier to do because you don't really have to scoop. You can just, do the shove because you're dealing with the front end of the board. So anytime you're dealing with the back end of the board, like with just a normal pressure flip or tray flip, whatever, you're going to have to depend more on that scoop. So it's important to make sure you have that scraping motion going on and that you're not just popping, but you're scraping. And that's essential. So you'll see here that I'm pressing down, and not only am I popping, but I'm scraping the board to the point where the board ends up going like hovering above my foot, if you can see what I'm talking about here. So that's important when it comes to learning how to pressure flip. You need to know how to scrape that board along so that it does the rotation and the flip at the same time. So this can be a bit hard to understand at first. You might end up just doing a few pop shove-its at first, but it's really important to let the board flip over your foot, if that makes any sense. So this is exactly the concept that you need to master before you try to commit to a pressure flip and put both feet on the board. When you start doing that, you just want to make sure that the front foot gets out of the way. You don't want the front foot to have like any influence on this. So when you pop, you just kind of want to get that front foot out of the way and practice doing the same motion that you did when you were practicing it with one foot. That is the key to a pressure flip right there. That's why they call it the pressure flip, because you're putting so much pressure on that side of the board to where it actually ends up doing the heel flip, and then it depends on the scrape so that you end up doing the pop shove it, and consequentially it looks like an inward heel flip, but obviously it's not. So that's my tip when it comes to pressure flips. Just practice, practice, practice. Make sure you get that motion down on one foot. That really helps. That's how I ended up learning pressure flips. Comment down below your suggestions for future skate hacks videos. Thank you guys for watching as always. See you next time.